Welcome back to another Backpage Gaming video. Today we are looking at one of the best box-to-box midfielders on the game. It's Mid Matthaus. Robbie's going to be asking me some questions and then we're going to sum up what we think of the card. At the end, an overall rating. Rob, we've got a little mophead guy here. He's unreal.
Hope you're not referring to me, Jack, although thank you for calling me unreal. Yeah, before we get into it, if you're not already, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. Yeah, Matthaus, I'm very excited. He's a very premium icon, Jack. He's 1.8 mil. He's a bit of a short king. He's 5'9". What he lacks for in height, he makes up for in statistics. Yes. Unbelievable stats all around, Jack. 87 pace. Yeah, so much. I've never seen so much. Last time I saw so much green, I was in the meadow. What that means. But yeah, crazy stats all over the shop. What are your first impressions, Jack?
Wow. So, it's a great card. I think my main impression was I've not used a card that's felt like this yet. I think the closest I've used was probably Lorente. Obviously, there's similar
in what way?
Of cards. The way that they're kind of like a jack of all trades, master of none, perhaps. But Matthaus felt like a better jack of all trades than Lorente did.
Okay.
Yeah. Very solid in the defense. Really good attacking as well. Yeah. Passing wise, he was brilliant. I think it's one of those cards where you're not gonna
notice him too much.
You're not gonna notice him in a way, which is almost a good thing. But at the same time, it's almost a bad thing because I think when you spend that much money on a card on FIFA, you kind of expect him to notice them. But at the same time, he does what he needs to do so well that you're like, ooh, this is actually really good. I don't know if I want to sell him.
Yeah, he does his job.
I think he's not.
He's one of them where I suppose you don't know what you've got till it's gone almost.
Literally, yeah. He'd be in one. You know, if you're going from an icon SBC, you would not realise how lucky you've got by not getting this guy untradeable. So, I'll start off with my favourite thing about him, Rob. The big P.
Presence?
Presence.
Yes.
Honestly, he felt like he was everywhere.
Yeah.
Genuinely. High, by the way, is the best work rate by far this year. Yeah. For midfielders. It is so important.
Quickly. CDM, centre mid?
So I played 4-4-2, both variants of it. So it was either centre mid or CDM.
Yeah.
Obviously in the CDM in that 4-4-2 variant too.
Yeah.
It's quite attacking anyway. You know, they're getting up and down the pitch.
Absolutely. Yeah. Who would you partner him with?
He was partnered with Kante or Nkunku, depending on how the game was going.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
I think he was. When I used him with Kante, I thought they weren't a good pairing, to be honest.
They're a bit. Yeah, I know what you mean.
They're a bit too similar. Yeah. When I brought on Nkunku, his rule breaker one, his passing. Yeah. They felt a much better partnership. I think Matthaus is that type of. Kind of like he just gets everywhere. You know, he's not always going to drive forward the attack, but he links up so well between your defense and maybe your other midfielder. So for me, he'd be replacing Fofana in theory. Right. Him and like De Bruyne, for example, who I've got, would be a brilliant combo. He's a little dynamo, mate. Honestly, you wind him up, start the game. You don't stop running. He does just not stop. He is a little pocket rocket, Rob.
I mean, yeah, he looks fantastic. So I suppose the thing that's staring me in the face is his dribbling. Obviously, not the greatest stats-wise. What did that feel like? Did he feel bad on the ball, or did he make up for it with like his body type? I guess.
I wouldn't say the word good. Right. He just felt okay. Do you know what I mean? Like
usable.
Yeah. So I got his moments actually last year in an SBC. Not to flex on anyone. It was towards the end of the game, so it was kind of irrelevant anyway. But he's weird. He doesn't feel terrible, but I would never say he feels good on the ball.
Right.
Ever.
Okay.
But I don't think he needs to be that great on the ball.
Yeah, he's not going to be jinking it out of people, is he?
Like I say, with him not being the kind of like box to box. Well, I suppose he is box to box, but with him not being like the one that you want on the ball all the time, it doesn't matter all that much. I think you can get away with it definitely. I did use an engine on him though. Yeah. Because I do agree his dribbling is weak as hell. But like you say, Rob, what he likes in dribbling, he makes up for in like everything else. Yeah. He is genuinely the most well-rounded card I've used all year.
That is a bold claim, yeah.
I miss him. I don't miss him so much now that I've used Fofana though, actually, which is going to kind of tie into my view on this card a little bit later.
Okay, yeah.
But for an icon, Rob, I think he's one of the best. But in general, I know I've spoken about Fofana, but there's not all that many players that fit that type of role. You want a very specific player, like a high, really well-rounded, can tackle the ball really well, can distribute the ball, can run. It's a demanding position, and you really need to be at the top of your game to kind of match your attackers that you might have in your team. So. Everyone's got really good attackers at the minute, but I don't think there's all that many good midfielders.
No, not really.
That's a fair statement.
Yeah.
There's not, I think there's a lot more top tier attackers than there is top tier midfielders, and even defenders to that.
Yeah, absolutely.
To that point.
So, did you get much sort of chance to attack with him, or was he just sort of ditching the dirty work?
Yeah, he definitely got forward. Maybe not as much as I would have liked him to.
Yeah.
But like I said, I think he is better in that role where he is more of the defensive one, more of the cleaning up, sitting in front of his defence, in front of his centre-backs. But when he was in the attacking position, his passing was really good. His passing was exceptional, in fact. He come up with an assist or two for me.
Yeah. His
shooting, I'd say, is saved by the 92 shot power.
Yeah, a little bit.
Rifle. I don't think he scored one for me. But I had a couple of tries. But his shot power is really good, really impressive. Long shots being 93 is also really nice.
Yeah.
So he's got the important stats where he needs them.
Yeah.
Which I think in general is something about the card. When he where he needs his stats to be good at his position, he's got them.
Yeah. I suppose another key one, 92 interceptions as well. That's huge.
Who this guy reminds me of, actually? Now that I'm thinking about it, Barella a little bit, like in terms of his interceptions. Like I honestly, I love Inform Barella, and I find that he's just always in the right position. He's just where you want him to be. He's where so often when you're using a cheaper CDM, and you're like, why are you not there?
Sort of not there.
Yeah.
87 defensive awareness as well helps with that.
Huge. And the 91 stand tackle too.
Yeah.
But having both of these stats, it just makes him feel like the premium player. He does feel expensive. He feels a much, much better version of Kante. Way better. Dribbling obviously not as great.
It's like
but
Kante that can attack into really.
Yeah, and pass.
Yeah.
Which I think has been slept on in previous years.
Underrated,
I know we talk about it every review almost, but I can't stress how important it is to have good passing this year. It seems like
absolutely.
When the gameplay's bad, especially, you need good passing to make progress up the pitch.
Yeah.
For me, Rob, this card was exceptional. I really, really, really enjoyed using this card.
Was it obviously 75 strength's not like crazy, but
no.
You said he had a presence. Do you think he got muscled a bit, or could he hold? I
think
his own?
With him being a little bit shorter.
Yeah.
And whether I used an engine on him, so I was up to 87 balance. He did kind of bounce off people a little bit.
Yeah.
It was very tenacious. Obviously, 91 aggression.
A little Jack
again,
Russell.
Rob.
Yeah.
Just important stats being high. And he just made a nuisance of himself. He was generally just annoying. And
not for you, though.
No, definitely not for me. For the opponent, I said to Cam afterwards.
Big shout out,
I used big shout out. Sorry. I used Matthaus. I just slapped myself in the head. Then I used Matthaus, Salah, and Pele. I was getting close for all three of them at the same time.
Yeah.
I came away from the review, from using them and thinking, you know what, Matthaus has kind of been the most surprising one there. I've liked him so much.
Yeah.
I liked him. I think he was better in his position than Pele was in his and Salah was in his, if that makes sense. So,
like you've gone to your date's house.
Yeah.
You've gone to pick her up, and you've seen a sister at breakfast bar having a cereal. You're like, ooh, who's that baddie in the back? Yeah.
Yeah, and then I see the mum in the back, and I'm like, oh, bloody hell.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
And the dad, and the dog.
And so, and so, suddenly I'm not so interested.
Yeah.
Speaking of being interested, though, Rob, I gave him.
Card, yeah.
Yeah, I gave him a 9.75.
Oh, it's pretty good. Yeah. What? Yeah, I think down.
It's the dribbling.
Yeah.
It's not like I say you can get away with him, and you're not gonna be angry with it.
Mm-hmm.
But obviously, if he had like Barella's dribbling, oh my god, this card would be terrifying. Genuinely, it would be the most unreal midfielder I would have ever used.
Yeah.
So maybe it's a good thing anyway that he was slightly balanced in that regard. But value, listen, I've given him a 5 though, which I don't think's
it's not that bad, really. No.
He's 1.8 on Xbox at the minute, and he's 2.1, going like 2.2-ish on PlayStation.
Yeah.
I think if you've got the coins for a Matthaus, I don't think you're going to be disappointed trying him. I think, if I'd spent, listen, this is the thing. Cam's got about a 10 mil team.
Yeah.
So when you think about it, spending 1.8 on a midfielder isn't actually that much. Well, it is, but
yeah,
in terms of percentage-wise, it's not loads of the team.
It's a very similar price. I know they're very different players, but to Baby Zidane.
Yeah, Cam's used Baby Zidane and didn't like him.
Right, okay.
I think for me, I'd like to use him. This is a while back that Cam tried him, but I would like to use him and see how he would do with a Kante or something like a Zidane.
Yeah,
see
someone that sits back.
Who do you want to splash the cash on? Do you know what I mean? Whether it be a defensive one in Matthaus or an attacking one like Zidane.
Yeah.
But in general, I don't think it's an awful price. It is expensive, but it's a position where there's not loads of quality.
Yeah.
With attackers, I'm hard pressed to give them good ones because you've got Neymar, Ronaldo, and Mbappe that are all much, much, much cheaper. Whereas with midfielders, I don't think I've used someone that's felt like Matthaus.
Yeah. So you did say when we reviewed Seedorf, Jack, he was the best box to box you've used. Do you think Matthaus edges him? Not edges him, but beats him?
What's he doing? No, I don't think so.
Seedorf better?
I think Seedorf's better in terms of pure box to box.
Yeah, Matthaus better defensively.
Matthaus, yeah, definitely better defensively.
Yeah.
If I was to pick between two of them, regardless of coins, I would pick Matthaus.
Okay.
Seedorf, I think Seedorf now having I've played the game for a lot longer than when I tried him out, and I've used a lot more players in midfield, and I've settled on a system. For me, I think Seedorf only works in a 4-1-2.
As the attacking one, yeah.
Yes, I think in a 4-4-2, he's neither here nor there. He's not quite amazing.
I know what you mean, yeah. You want people in a 4-4-2 who can do everything, if that makes sense. Whereas Seedorf sort of lacks a little bit in the defending.
Likes it, yeah, definitely. Whereas Matthaus, he gets away with, his attacking's good enough to get away with. Whereas I think so yeah, I think still up for debate. Fafana's definitely one that he's captured me.
Yeah. One I'd like to try, Jack, Laurent Blanc.
Yes, his baby. Obviously, historically, a very popular player.
Yes.
But yeah, so I gave him 5 and then put engine on him.
Understandable.
Kind of needs it. In terms of links, obviously he's an icon, so you can link it with a few players. But the ones that I picked out was Goretzka in form. I've seen a lot of people using him this weekend.
I feel like they'd be really good together as well.
They would be. Proper workhorses, just no nonsense. Klosterman's rule breaker card looks really, really good. I would like to try him.
Yes, really good, yeah.
And then, I know I've just been speaking about overpriced players, but Draxler's Moments cards, I think if you've got a lot of coins, which you probably do, I think these two would make a really, really good pairing.
Yeah.
Really good pairing. I'd be very interested. I'm still on the fence about doing that Draxler.
I am as well. I mean, I've not got any of the big PSG men, but
I've got
if I ever get one, he's very nice to link to him, isn't he? And then
he's
just like a Bundesliga.
He's just expensive.
He is,
he's so expensive. That's the thing. But we'll have to wait and see whether he does join the team or not. But yeah, Matthaus, Rob, 10 out of 10 recommend him. Yeah. Really, really good. 9.7 overall, or 9.75 overall. I think that's about it. Any last thoughts on the card, Rob?
Let us know down in the comments if you've used him. What do you think of him? Would you be happy if you got him from an icon pack, Jack?
Bro, I'd shit bricks. I'd be so happy.
Yeah, fair enough. So, say if someone's watching this in January or whenever Icon Swaps is out, they've just packed him. How long do you think he lasts?
I think team of the season, at least. Yeah. Potentially a little bit past it, maybe.
Okay.
Depending on how much they juice the cards. But yeah, he's definitely an end-game sentiment.
Love it. Absolutely love it.
There we go.
Yeah. If you enjoyed that, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit that notification bell as well. We're uploading every day. We're close in to 50 days.
Must be about 50 uploads. 50. Yeah, it's crazy.
That's crazy. 50. Yeah. So yeah, please do hit the subscribe button. Go follow us on Twitter, Instagram and TikTok, all down below. In the meantime, I've been Robbie.
I've been Jack.
And we've been Backpage Gaming. See you later.
See you.